So, hello. Let me see if I'm online. Almost there, I think. I'm wondering if anyone can hear me. Okay. See, so you can see, we can see the pictures, but I can't hear what I'm saying. I can't hear. Oh, no, I think we are good. Let me see. Almost. Alright, so let's just get started. I want to get to know who is watching, if anyone is watching, or if I'm alone here. And currently I think I am the only one in this chat, so that's cool, because I have prepared some points that I want to go through, and the points are outlined in the description of the stream. So let me go through them one by one until I get to hear or see somebody else chiming in. So the first thing I want to go through is YouTuibe Life the right thing to do, the right platform for this forum? And that is a question that I probably will see in the future. For now, I think it's not too bad. I think I've set up everything as I would expect it to. I hope this will become better. But all right, 4 minutes after, so let's get started. I think YouTube is the right technology. Yeah, it looks good. It gives everyone who's logging in or not a chance to provide their input, their questions, and I will try to answer every single one of these questions. Now, the problem, obviously, for now, I'm the only one in this live stream. So, welcome to myself. Good morning. It is 8:04 Eastern Standard Time, and we've got a pretty cold day currently outside. So why do I do this stream? What is background behind it? I thought it's a good idea to see if I can grow a little community around my blog and get some input and see what they are struggling with, right? This blog is using WordPress, and there are a lot of WordPress sites, and I have not found a lot of good information about people who are just about to start out. So I have started in September, and I have learned a lot of things that I didn't know before, and I have started using social media for the first time in my life. I'm taking social media more serious as a way to drive traffic to one of my web pages. And for me, the choice fell onto Pinterest. I've read a lot of good things about Pinterest, and there were a lot of success stories with it, driving huge amounts of traffic to one's blog, and I wanted to check it out for myself. So far, the results have been mixed. While I get a good number of impressions, I had like less than 10 click-throughs to my webpage, which is a bit disconcerting, but at the end of the day, I just started out, so I'll give it another couple of months and see if I may get up to more click-through and improve my rating there. I think Pinterest itself is actually a lot of fun to be on, and I found it to be very easy for me to create visual images and add some text to it and then link to my blog posts. It's been quite interesting. I have started with Pinterest in early November, beginning of November, so I did 1 month of Pinterest purely manual, and beginning of December, so about 1 week ago, I started using Tailwind like most bloggers do, or most Pinterest users do. Tailwind has been quite amazing. I think it has helped me schedule pins and take off some of that workload. I spent a lot of time on Pinterest. Rather than creating contents for my blog, I create contents for Pinterest, and I spend a lot of time on Pinterest searching for the best articles, and then repin those onto my boards and onto the group boards that I've started joining. Overall, I think Pinterest could be what everyone is making it out to be, but so far I have not seen major results yet. I hope my using Tailwind and improving on what I want to do with Pinterest and how much I want to pin, how many pins I want to pin each day and each month. I hope I will see slowly see increase in my readership and people clicking through. So, but enough about Pinterest. Unless somebody else has some questions, we can move on to the next question. And that is about the blog and why I started it. I have done many things in the past. I've been working for the past 22, 23 years, 9 to 5. I had some open source projects which I devoted years and years of developing great applications for free. And I have probably a set of 6 or 7 other web pages which I more or less maintain. Most of those web pages are based around my hobbies, which is programming or computer in general. And so I started this blog to see if I can figure out where the real money making tips are coming from. So I wanted to go and look at some of those ideas that are floating around the internet about making money online and test them out and give my honest opinion. Just like with this blog, I will give you my honest feedback of how much money I actually earned. So far, I have to say, the income for the last 3 months has been $0, but that's okay. I'm starting out. But I want to take a look into other things like taking online surveys or becoming a website or an application tester and earning some extra money on the side, and see how much money one can really expect to earn. I also want to interview people who are earning money online currently and see what they have to say, how they went about it, and what their advice is to people starting out. The most difficult part of any new venture, in my opinion, in my experience, has been the starting out. It's not so much that people don't have the drive or they don't want to do a certain task or they're too lazy. I think starting out and then for the first 3-6 months not seeing any return on their investment of time and energy, they may lose interest after that time period, instead of sticking with it and trying to get to maximize their effort when it is warranted. Let's see. WordPress, yeah. So my blog is running on WordPress, and I have installed a whole bunch of WordPress plugins, and I want to go quickly through the list of all the plugins that I installed, and the reason for that is that I think these plugins are the best plugins that you can install. So let's get started, and I'm going to go through them alphabetically, simply because that is the way that those plugins are listed in WordPress. So the first plugin the first plugin on the list is Ad Inserter, and it's a plugin that helps you insert ads within your blogs without spending too much time and effort on it. Now I have to say, because I just last week started adding ads onto my blog, I have not really used this so far, but I intend to maybe expand on it, or maybe not. It all depends on how much money I can possibly earn. The next plugin on the list is Add to Any Share Buttons, and those are social media share buttons. So a user comes to your webpage, he reads one of the blogs, and you want to give him the option to share this blog with his friends or with some other social media, and this Add to Any plugin will allow you to choose from a whole bunch of available social media where your user can share these to. So it's a great plugin. I would highly recommend it. The next plugin on the list is something I actually just installed yesterday, and I needed it because I wrote a blog about creating a video pin for Pinterest, and for that I wanted to actually display the outcome or the result of my work, and I needed a way to display video inside the blog. The default media player that is coming with WordPress when you display video on your blog had a couple of limitations that I wanted to work around, so I installed RV Advanced Responsive Video Embedder as another plugin for WordPress, and this plugin is a great way of displaying your videos on your blog post, and it offers a lot of flexibility to do so. Next plugin on the list is Contact Forms 7, and I use this to provide the contact information anytime somebody wants to contact me. He can type in his name, his email, and leave me a text, and that's the plugin I use for. And then I also installed the Image 360. Now this plugin will allow you to display a 360-degree image on your blog post, and I used it for to display the image I took when I went to Singapore this year, and it's a great plugin for this type of purpose. One of the things in WordPress that I really don't like is the new Gutenberg editor, and there is a plugin that disables this Gutenberg editor and reverses back to the original tiny what's it called, tiny I forgot the name of the editor, but it reverts back to the default editor before Gutenberg, and this plugin is called Disable Gutenberg. It was the first plugin that I installed, and I'm loving it ever since. Next on the list is email subscribers and newsletter. This plugin, as the name suggests, allows me to create an email list and send out newsletters to these emails. Unfortunately, currently I'm the only one on those email lists. So again, after 3 months, quite poor performance from my website. But I also have to say I have not really tried to push it too much, and I don't expect to see many subscribers for the next, say, 6, 9 or 12 months out. Next on the list of plugins that I installed is the GDPR cookie consent form, and this is required now that in Europe there is a law in place that requires you to allow a visitor of your webpage to accept or deny cookies, and based on those cookies, companies like Google would serve different types of ads to the user. So it's a way for the user to retain his privacy, and this cookie consent form will basically handle all the underlying tasks. So great tool. I would highly recommend you install this or something similar onto your WordPress as well. Now the next plugin is something that you probably already have, which is the Google Analytics dashboard for WordPress, GADWP. And as the name suggests, it links up your Google Analytics page with your WordPress plugin, and it gives you a nice little widget on your dashboard to see your performance. Again, the next plugin is also from for Google, and it's the Google XML sitemaps. And this plugin will create sitemaps. Not much to it. Sitemaps are used by Google or other search engines to index your website, your WordPress plugin, your WordPress blog, and it's an important piece of SEO, search engine optimization. The next plugin is something that I installed, but I actually don't use per se. It's a Jetpack by WordPress plugin. It is installed basically per default, I think. I haven't played too much with it. I may actually at some point disable it or deactivate it. Next on the list, getting down, is MailMunch. Again, it's a tool to help you build email lists and send out emails to your email subscribers. Same as before, not a lot has happened. I only have empty lists after 3 months, as one would expect. And moving on, the next one is MetaSlider. MetaSlider is a great plugin that I would recommend, that I can highly recommend if you want to create image slideshows on your blog post. What it does, you can provide a list of images and it will display them on your blog post in a very nice format. Then following plugin is Microblog Poster, and this plugin will help you to spread your content to other social media outlets. For example, you can use it to automatically post your blog to your WordPress blog, but also to Facebook, and give Twitter a shout out as well. The next plugin is something that I personally use quite often. It's ML Raw HTML, and it's basically a way to prevent WordPress to mess up your manually crafted HTML in a way that it becomes unreadable or completely useless. And I use it a lot because in most of my blogs actually, I add in special features like a calculator that is based on JavaScript, or a slideshow, or some other tools that are non-standard to WordPress, but they're very much standard to HTML and to the web. So ML Raw HTML is a plugin that I personally use quite a lot. Next down on the list is the pin it button on image, hover, and post. It's a long name, but it basically describes what the plugin is all about. It displays a button to pin it for Pinterest, and it's something that anyone on Pinterest should probably install and allow their readership to pin images from their blogs onto Pinterest. Then going down, the next on the list is SteamPress. Now, if you're not familiar with Steam, it is a cryptocurrency. Now you're saying, cryptocurrency? Hold on a minute. Are we talking about money? No, Steam is a cryptocurrency with the main goal of content creation and content provider. It basically allows a whole community around blogging, video, podcasting, etc., to create content and exchange these Steam tokens as a means of payment. I have plans to write a whole bunch of blogs around cryptocurrencies and Steam and how they fit into earning money online. Now, this is not a Bitcoin, this is not related to Bitcoin, and it has nothing to do with buying Bitcoins and holding it and hoping that the price goes up. This is purely around Steam and how you can monetize your blog and other contents using this cryptocurrency. With that said, so the SteamPress plugin will allow you to also publish your WordPress blog onto the SteamPress blog. SteamPress blog is something that is within the Steam framework and displays your blog basically on a different website as well. Next plugin is Syntax Highlighter and Evolved. And this highlighter is great if you want to display some code fragments, or you want to provide a list, predefined list, or any of that sort. It is mainly used by people who develop code and display a code snippet, and it's a great plugin for me because I once in a while will display some code snippets to help people with their blog or otherwise. Then the next plugin, we're coming down to the last 7 or 8 plugins. The next plugin on the list that I have installed is TablePress. TablePress allows you to display basically an Excel table or a table inside your blog, and I use it for my income reports to display the income and the expenses that I had for each month. It's a great plugin for many different things that you may want to display on your blog, so I highly recommend checking it out. Next on the list, something that you must have. It's called Updraft Plus. It's backup and restore for your WordPress blog. Now, anything you put on the internet could vanish, right? There could be an attack, there could be something going on. With attack, I mean a hacker. And Updraft Plus will basically allow you to create a backup of your WordPress blog and allow you to later on restore it again. Next on the list is the URL shortener by My Theme Shop, and this is basically a tool that allows you to define a URL on your blog. In my case, this would be makemoneyonlineforlife.com, and then I could create something like live 001, which is the current blog to my live YouTube chat, and this link will then redirect to YouTube as you would expect. So it's a great tool in case you want to provide some affiliate links and you want to provide a short link or a meaningful link rather than a long entrenched link with many numbers and digits. Check it out if you want to do something similar. Next on the list is WordPress Supercache and WordPress User Avatar. Now, WordPress Supercache, there's not a lot to say. It basically is a way to improve the speed of your WordPress. You should always install it and activate it and forget about it. WordPress User Avatar is a plugin that allows you to provide avatars to each of your users. In my case, I'm the only user for my WordPress blog, and so I installed it. There's only one avatar, but if you would have multiple people working on the blog at the same time, this would be a good way of providing each of them with a small little icon of their face, for example. And the last, but certainly one of the more important plugins, is Yoast SEO. Yoast SEO, there's little to say about it. I think most WordPress blogs will have it installed. It provides tools and means to improve your search engine optimization for you. It helps you with identifying shortcomings in your blogs and how to improve your blog post overall to make the best for search engines out of it. That's it. That's the list of all the plugins that I have installed and activated at this time. It's a fairly long list, but it may not be the end. I may install a couple more within the next weeks or months, and I will keep you posted. So with that said, and I'm still the only one in the chat, I will move on to the next. Let's talk about my past side hustles and what I've done. So I worked on projects in the past where I was paid for in a lump sum, like creating a web page or helping with adding features to an existing web page, and I did this on the side, and it was great fun, with the exception that, again, I was trading time for money, and this just doesn't scale. So I would go to work, my 9 to 5, would come home and then spend some more time on the computer working for somebody else, earning money, and this would just at a certain point just no longer scale. Right, there are only so many hours in the day. There's only so much I can do each day. It was a way of earning additional money, but it was just something that I stopped doing now, and I'm now focused more on passive income streams. I also still have a set of about 20 Android apps on the Google Play Store, and they are the main way that I currently earn passive income. The reason why I stopped working on the Android apps and focused on this blog was that it became apparent to me after a while that I was still working for somebody. I was still working for Google exclusively, and with the changes that Google added to the Play Store, I was bound to follow all the rules that Google imposed, if I liked them or not. And most of the times I didn't like the changes they made because they were restricting one or another feature, or they were adding more and more restrictions. And the other reason why I moved on to creating this blog and stopped focusing on Android apps was that I started in the app business a couple of years ago, and I had about 3 apps when I started out, and I was getting about $20 a day um, from the early days. And about a year and a half later, I went from 5 apps to about 20 apps where I'm now, and I earn about $20 a month. So as you can see, I put in a lot of time and effort, and while I'm grateful for the money, the passive income that I get, I have not seen it increase with the number of apps that I create. And it is not that the same apps still bring in the same money. It is that the apps that used to bring in $20 or that used to bring in $6, $7, $8 a day now went down to $1 or $2 a day. And my other apps went up to $1 or less a day. And it all at the end evened out to about the same amount. So this business, while it is supposed to be scalable, for some reason was not scaling for me at all with the number of apps. Also what increased was the number of bugs and user requests that I had to respond to. So my workload increased, but the return on that investment I just did not see. Right, I'm still again grateful for the passive income, and I love it, but I'm now focused on trying to see if I can grow this blog and see if I can replace at least some of the money that I will certainly lose with the apps in the next coming months with that WordPress blog. I have also done in the past, I've also developed a lot of free tools. I've developed a GPS satellite tracker, I developed a DVD authoring tool for Linux, and all of this I developed for free, and you can download it if it still works. And that was good fun. But now I see if I can spend my time and energy with something where I actually do see some reward coming back, because the one thing that I've learned with doing open source is that you get a lot of hate coming from the internet with regard to negative feedback, very, very vicious negative feedback sometimes for no reason, for you developing and providing free tools and source code and software. And I think that just is not helpful when you want to provide something to the world for free. So I moved on to other things, and now, even though I still get a lot of negative feedback on my Android apps, for example, I at least getting paid for it, so that's good. So as I said before, I've been working 9 to 5 for the past 22, 23 years, and I have spent a lot of overtime working on it. If you're in the software development industry, you're always spending more than 8-9 hours a day working for the man. And I pushed myself to the limits at a certain point, and I was waiting for and asking for more and more to get more responsibilities and to raise in the ranks, and for one reason or another that hasn't happened in my case. What actually happened is that the people who are playing games and who are playing who are basically sucking up to upper management have risen in the ranks, and the technical people who have good technical skills and solutions and ideas have been suppressed. So that's something that you should be aware of if you go into the software industry, that you should always mind your own business, which is if you're working 9 to 5 for the man, unless you want to grow in that company, unless you want to move up in the ladder in corporate America or some other country, obviously, you should take your 9 to 5 as a way to bridge you over until you can grow your own business and escape the 9 to 5. At the end of the day, when you when you reach the end of your life, will you be on your dying bed and saying, "Dang, I wish I would have worked one more day or 2 more hours, and I wish I would have finished this or that for my company"? Or do you think, "I wish I would have spent more time with my family. I wish I would have seen this in this country, or I wish I would have done that"? So always know where you want to spend your priorities at. And that is it. I think I went through a list of all the things that I wanted to talk to. And let me see if I can come up with some more things to talk about. How much time do I invest per day, week, or month? That's something, if I would come up with a number, I would probably say about 4 hours each day, before and after work. And on the weekends, probably more like 8 hours per day. But that's maybe an average, and that's now at the startup phase. I would spend more time if I would not have to work, obviously, but I do have a 9 to 5, so I need to limit myself there. How much money have I earned with this blog? So far, I have earned exactly $0.00, which I hope to change this month. I have spent so far, let's see, in September I spent $32, in October I spent $12, and in November I spent $9. So I spent about $53 total on the blog so far. I have spent this month so far $44, and those are 3 blogs which are going to come up on Make Money Online for Life within the next, say, week or 2. So with that said, and I'm still the only one in this chat, I will call it a day. It took only 36 minutes to went through this. I certainly enjoyed it. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed all the feedbacks and all the questions I got. Joke. And I hope that next time I do this, maybe I'll see some more people joining in. So up until then, I wish you all the best and good luck with your making money online endeavors, anything that you do, and I will talk to you soon.